Now then YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome back to my second part, third, fourth, fifth, sixth part maybe, of Botania. It's the second part of the 1.72/1.710 and it's also the sixth part, sorry, in the entire series altogether. If you haven't seen the ones previous, go ahead and look in the description below for a link to all of those. And of course, the mod itself. So guys, we are back in the Botania world and what have we got in today's video? Well, I can tell you we've got Alphemancy. Now this sounds very, very interesting indeed, and I'm sure you guys will absolutely love this. So we're going to open the Lexica Botania and we're going to go to Alphemancy down here. Now this was brought in version 1.1, release 1.1 version 58, build 58 that is, the portal to Alfheim. Once, in olden times, elves used to share the world with us Minecrafters. Due to unknown events, they have been banished back to their own world, Alfheim. Experimentation has been done in attempts to bridge the gap between the two worlds, and means of creating a portal that does just that have been devised. Creating this portal proves not to be an easy task, as quite a few exquisite resources are necessary. The requirements are as follows: 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, 1 elven gateway core, 2 mana pools, and 2 Natura pylons. So, as you can see, it says read on there, and read on for the Natura ones. We'll get into that in just a second. So we can get the elven gateway core with 8 living wood around a terra steel ingot. That, of course, gets you the 1 elven core that you need. You can also make Natura pylons from mana pylons and 2 of those essences of eternal lives. Now don't forget that those require a nether star. You do get 12 per recipe though, so that's creating the Natura pylons. First, make a frame of living wood. Let's go ahead and do this step by step then. We need 8, as it shows right on there. So let's get ourselves some living wood. And do this. Oops. That. Been creative, so I may as well float for a bit. Like that. I think that looks exactly what it says like on the tin, right there. And then the glimmering living wood in the gaps. So let's get a piece of glimmering living wood and 1 there, there, and there. And then we add in the elven gateway core, as you can see. Right there, okay, and then we add in the mana pools right here, so right there and right there, so that's 3 and then 3, okay. Mana pools. I hope that you can use the everlasting guilty pools. We'll try that, or we'll try both of them. So 1 2 3 1 2, yeah, 1 2 3 1 2 3. There we are. I think that's that. We'll see if we can use those in a second. So that is 1 2 3, and then of course 2 across, and then of course the Natura pylons above them. So let's go and grab one of them and put that on top of there and on top of there. There we go. To open the portal, simply right click the core with a wand of the forest. The portal requires a substantial amount of mana deposited in both of the pools to open up. After that, it'll slowly drain some to keep itself powered. If it runs out of mana, the connection will be broken. The amount of mana required to open up the portal is orders of magnitude higher than that to keep it maintained. Thus, closing the portal to prevent mana loss is a poor strategy. Furthermore, the link, basically it means you might as well not turn it off to turn it back on, because you actually use more mana turning it back on. Furthermore, the link isn't strong enough to allow living beings to go through it, but it seems that certain items can. The amount of information about Alfheim stored in this lexicon is resumed to this entry alone. Perhaps letting the elves look at it might prove more beneficial. So with Wand of Forest in hand, let's open this portal up. Oh man. Vazki, that looks amazing. I've got to say, looks absolutely legendary. Now, as you can see, I've got my Lexica Botania right here, and I've also got one with Elven knowledge. Now, let's go ahead and chuck that through there. And there you go. We got one back. And that will be one with Elven knowledge in there as well. So that's fantastic. So, let's open that one up. Look at this, Elven Guard. What the heck is all this about, guys? Greetings! We noticed that our portal was opened via a link from another world. That's rather shocking news indeed. We thank you very much for providing us with a repository of the knowledge from your world, as to keep us up to date to what happened since we left it. It's been a while since then indeed. After some discussion with the High Council of the Elven Guard, we've decided to cooperate with you. You see, reading through your Lexica Botania has shown us a good amount of resources from your world that we would be extremely keen to get our hands on, as these are non-existent in our lands. The link you have managed to establish is rather weak. No living beings will be able to go through, as you already know. However, there's a positive side to this. The link strikes the fabric of time of both our worlds in a way where it doesn't keep them in sync. That's the reason why you received your book back so quickly. See what you did there, that's good. When it comes to mana and other magical energies, we are plenty stocked on them, so worry not about the portal closing on our end. Let's put this into prospect. In order for the advance of both of our civilizations, we vow to accept a given set of resources from your world we lack in ours in exchange for resources you lack in yours. We have taken the liberty of assigning our best scribes to put together a great set of knowledge from our world we're willing to share. You can find it in your lexicon just as you'd find knowledge from yours. We hope you find it enlightening and that it encourages you to invest in our materials. Last but not least, do keep in mind that if you decide to send something we have not vouched to trade for, we will assume it as a gift and keep it for ourselves. Just as a forewarning, we look forward to exchanging resources with you. Best regards, the High Council of the Elven Guard. That is just fantastic. Of course, that is the message from Elven Guard right there. And then, of course, resources of Alfheim. Guys, there is so much to this update. Alfheim contains a very varied amount of exquisite resources. Sadly though, most of them are extremely scarce and hard to come by due to competition between the various clans. The elves are interested in trading some materials, such as dreamwood, elementium, that actually rings a bell there, pixie dust or dragonstone resources native to their lands. So if we put in a living wood, we will get out a dreamwood. This is the trade if we put that into the portal. As you can see, dreamwood, similar to living wood, can be turned into various decorative blocks. Have a look through the decorative blocks entry under miscellaneous for the recipes. And of course, you can put mana steel or the blocks through to get elementium or blocks of elementium. You can put mana pearls in and you'll get out pixie dust. You can put mana diamonds in and you'll get out the dragonstone. The elves are also quite keen on the white posh block from the nether quartz. The ones they have on their world are tinted green. This quartz works like any other quartz, be it normal nether quartz or any of the decorative variants you can find on the decorative blocks under miscellaneous. Again, you can put nether quartz in there and you will get the elven quartz out, and that's that there. So that's the resources of Alfheim. Remember guys, let's go and try this out with a living wood. We've got a living wood in here. Let's go and chuck that in. And there is a dream wood. Looks pretty much like this one. I love this system. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Let's make this place look decent. Woo, looks nice. And then of course, it looks pretty much the same texture all the way around. I like that. I like that a lot. So of course you can also chuck in some nether quartz, for example, and it pops out at the other end, that green tinted stuff, the elven quartz. Now don't forget guys, this elven quartz, you can then go on to make the decorative blocks of elven quartz, and so on and so forth, and make the stairs, and blah blah blah, and it looks pretty nice. Let's go and get some to show you. Here is a block of elven quartz. Does look very nice indeed. Nice green tint on it. And of course it's the same texture all the way around. And you get these stairs and the pillars and these slabs and all sorts in there as well. Now you will also know if we look through some of these things, aha, now you can see we've got some things that are actually open in green. And we're going to go through some of these right now for you guys. Starting with an item that was actually done in the previous video. If you haven't checked out that one, make sure you go back and check that out. Links in the description below. The Flugel Tiara, you'll now see, is actually unlocked as soon as you've got this elven knowledge there for the Flugel Tiara. I showed you what it did, but this is how you can get it, guys. You've got to do this with the portal. You've got to chuck it through, and there you go. You can find out how to actually make the Flugel Tiara right there. So that is how you actually make it. 2 feathers, 3 iron ingots, and 4 essences of eternal light. Don't forget, guys, that those things do require you to have a nether star. So there's a whole lot of different stuff here as well, guys. Let's have a look for the Elven Mana Spreader first on the list. Simply put, Dreamwood conducts mana better than Living Wood. Add in some adjustments like Elementium or Mana Petals, and what you get is a mana spreader that can conduct more mana faster and for more time without mana loss. On the negative side, it can't be turned into a redstone mana spreader. So the Elven Mana Spreader is simply 6 Dreamwood, any colour mana petal in the middle there with an Elementium ingot, and that will get you the Elven Mana Spreader. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. Let's go and grab ourselves one of those Elven Mana Spreaders. And we're just going to get a mana pool, and let's see what we can use. Let's see. Well, I suppose I can show you it this way, maybe, or which way should I actually do this? You know what? Let's just do it this way. I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to place it right there. Let's get the Elven Mana Spreader. Wander the forest. Come on. Turn. Are you not turning? For whatever reason? That is still... It's not turning. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Nope, it's refusing to turn. We're gonna have to do it manually. No, we can't do it manually. Okay. There we go. And there you can see the mana is going all the way across here. If we get our Wander the Forest, you can see the line right there. If we take that away, there is the end of it, where it starts actually losing mana. So you can see that it's quite a distance, a longer distance since the last one. And you can see it does it faster as well. So how large is that, guys? There we are, look. And then of course it gets to that point and then it starts losing mana. But it does it faster, it takes more, as it says in the description of that, and that is the Elven Mana Spreader. My mistake, guys, it is actually auto-turning now. I must have done something wrong somewhere along the line. As you can see, it's not selected. It is now selected. We go over to this thing over here. And we can shift right click and you can see it in the distance. Oh, you will see it in the distance move. Will it move? It did do it just a second ago. It did do it just a second ago. And if I shift right click this, you can see I can manually do it if not. So there we go. Elven Mana Spreader. Now we're going to move to the next thing, and we're pretty much going down the list of things right from the start here, so mana manipulation. We're just going down the list here. Paint Slinger Lens was actually brought into a very recent version of it, release 1.1 build 69, the new lens which requires the Elven knowledge, which is this Paint Slinger Lens. Now I like that, I like this, guys. The elves are one crafty bunch. This lens is somewhat unique in comparison to the other lenses. The Paint Slinger lens needs to be dyed one of the 16 colours of the spectrum to function. When it hits colourable blocks, wool, stained, clay or glass, it'll turn any blocks connected of the same type and colour into the colour of the mana burst itself. You can go and craft that with 2 Elementium ingots, a mana lens and a couple of pieces of wool, and that will get you the mana lens of Paint Slinger. Basically, to colour it, all you have to do is to get a mana lens, one of those lenses, Paint Slinger lens, there it is, and get a dye of any type, shape or form. Make sure you've got a crafting table available or do it in your inventory. You can see it's orange tinted Paint Slinger lens. Make sure you've got a redstone mana spreader that can spread mana around the world. The Elven one won't work with this one, or at least I don't think it will. And I've got a purple tinted one, and let's take that off actually. Where did it go? Oh, in my inventory. And let's put the orange one on that we just made, and let's give this a pulse. Now it's aiming towards that over there, but let's see what happens, guys, when I do this. Ta-da! That is exactly what the paint slinger lens will do. It will also, like I said, guys, do every single block that's attached to it of that particular colour. So let's do this and that. Ta-da! Paint slinger lens. Next in the list going down in natural apparatus is conjuring with mana. Now this is very nice indeed. Similarly to the ability to alchemize with mana, a catalyst also exists for conjuration, the magic of materializing resources from magical energy only. The mechanism works in a similar way to the alchemy catalyst, which I'll get into in a second, where one tosses an item into the pool with the catalyst below. So let's have a look how to craft it. First, you will need that alchemy catalyst. You will also need 4 living rocks, 3 elementium, and 1 pixie dust, and that will get you the conjuration catalyst. Now, you can do different stuff with this. You can get some redstone. You chuck 1 piece of redstone in, you got 2 out, as long as it's placed above the conjuration catalyst. Glowstone, nether quartz, coal, snowballs, netherrack, soul sand, gravel, and that's it at the moment, guys. And you can see the mana usage down there. So make sure that you've got your pool of mana above the block, above the conjuration catalyst, which is right there. And then, just to give you an example, chuck 1 bit of redstone in there, and it will pop 2 back out at you. So that's basically how the conjuration catalyst works. Next on the list of stuff to show you guys, the Spectral platform. This is a very big update, guys, so this might be another half-an-hour video. The Spectral platform isn't more than an abstruse platform with no physical body whatsoever. Whereas the abstruse platform would have a physical body in some cases, the Spectral platform lets anything go through it regardless of their position. You can craft it with a couple of bits of dreamwood, a couple of bits of framed dreamwood, and a patterned framed dreamwood in the middle there, and that will get you the Spectral platform. Basically, it's exactly the same as the abstruse one, and as you can see, just the abstruse one is here, and if you press shift or if you go underneath or anything like that, you can just go straight through it. But the Spectral one, which is these lot here, it's camo. You can camouflage the blocks, as I have done with chiseled sandstone here, but instead of being able to walk on it, nothing. You cannot do anything with it. It's just like a ghost block. It just exists there as a doorway to nowhere, basically. It's pretty good. You can make some nice secret bases with that, or some traps or whatever. Be nice. Spectral platform, guys. Onto mystical instruments now, and elementium equipment. Guys, would you believe it? That elementium also comes in the tools and armor sets. However, they are unique. So you might want to listen to this bit. Similarly to other metals, as expected, elementium can, too, be shaped into tools and armour. These pieces of equipment have a decent resistance to damage, about half of that of diamond, as well as the ability to drain mana to prevent damage. Each of the tools come with their own ability or power of sorts, which makes them unique. The armour allows the wearer to, when hit, have a chance to spawn a pixie that goes after the attacker, dealing decent damage. The more pieces of elementium armour equipped, the higher the chance. So basically, the more that you wear, the higher chance of a pixie popping out and killing the person that's trying to kill you. Starting off with the elementium pickaxe will destroy dirt, cobblestone, dirt, netherrack and other mundane materials, leaving behind only the ores and fine resources. And of course you can craft that with 3 elementium and 2 living wood twigs. The elementium shovel will dig gravel and sand, but will dig all of it, so all of the blocks of that material and or below it. No more gravel falling when mining, and that is of course 1 elementium ingot and 2 living wood twigs. The elementium axe doubles as a weapon. If used to strike the finishing blow on a zombie, skeleton, creeper or even another player, it has a chance to decapitate them, leaving their severed head or skull behind. And of course it's just like a normal axe with 2 living wood twigs. The elementium shears, I like this one, holds the ability to, when held like a bow, shear any nearby sheep with speed within a large area of effect centered on the holder. So basically like an area of effect shears, basically. 2 elementium ingots for that, nice and easy. Lastly, the elementium sword will increase the chance of a pixie spawning when hit. This holds true when no elementium armor is worn at all, and increases the strength of any pixies spawned. Of course, just like his sword. And then of course you've got the different armor set pieces: aluminium helmet, chest plate, leggings, and boots. Pretty straightforward there for the aluminium equipment. Next on the list is the extrapolated bucket, which basically works like a void bucket. By creating a bucket out of aluminium, one seems to notice an interesting feature. The liquids acquired by it simply vanish into the ether, never to be seen again. This seems like a great cleanup tool. And then of course the extrapolated bucket is just 3 pieces of aluminium. Next on the list is the life aggregator, as you can probably see in there. This basically acts like, say, the wrench that's in... I can't remember what mod it is, but basically you can pick spawners up with it and put them back down with this life aggregator, and you can put them wherever you like. However, it does break after its first use. By arranging Dragonstone, Elementium and Essence of Eternal Life in a specific pattern, one can create a device that can contain the curious energies of a monster spawner and materialise it in another point in space. It's to note that the device will shatter after being used once. So, 4 pieces of Eternal Life, Essence of Eternal Life, 4 Elementium ingots, and Dragonstone in the middle will get you the Life Aggregator. Next on the list of new items is the Rod of Bifrost. Now this thing is pretty goddamn cool, I've got to say. The Rod of Bifrost, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge that reaches between the world and the realm of the gods. While this item, the Rod of Bifrost, doesn't exactly do that, it allows the holder, via a right click and at the cost of some mana, to create a rainbow bridge in the direction he or she is looking at. This bridge extends as far as 100 blocks and will vanish after about 15 seconds. Only one bridge can be created for any given Rod of Bifrost at a time. As soon as the old bridge vanishes, a new one can be created. 2 pieces of pixie dust, a dragonstone, and 2 elementium ingots can get you one of these. Now this is pretty cool, guys. The Rod of Bifrost basically look in a particular direction. Say for example you're on a ravine and you think, oh, I wouldn't mind getting to the bottom of that, but I don't want to die. So just shoot out a Rod of Bifrost here and you'll have a nice little bridge that you can use to go down there. Now it says you can't create more than one. I don't know if it's because I'm in creative mode, but I can create more than one. It's probably because I'm in creative mode, so... it lasts for about 15 seconds, as it says. Now, this is a pretty nice, neat feature. Like I said, if you're trying to get down from a height to without dying, without having fall damage and killing yourself. Alright guys, well, with this Alphamancy update came a whole load of, well, some new items into baubles and accessories. We start with obviously the Flugel Tiara I went through in the last episode. That was added pretty early on, but it's been part of the Elven knowledge since the 1.158 build. Globetrotters sash is basically like the Sojourner's sash, this one, which basically allows you to run really fast. However, this one will allow you to run even faster. Basically, that's what it's going to say there. You can craft it with 2 elementium ingots, the Sojourner's I really can't get that out. Sojourner's sash in there, and an essence of eternal life, and this will allow you to run really, really fast. Woo. And jump high in the air as well. Good stuff. You've got to like that, guys. Now don't forget, of course, you can go up 1 blocks as well, so you can just run over everything, up and down hills like that. It's just great. Really, really nice. Not good for intricate work because you'll find yourself like flying everywhere, and things can get a little bit hairy. If your elementium armor and your sword is not enough and you want a pixie to spawn even more, get the Great Fairy Ring. This thing will allow you to have, as it says, will increase the chance for a pixie to spawn when the wearer is hit. This still holds true case no elementium armor is equipped. And you can get this with 4 elementium ingots and pixie dust on the top left there, and that will get you the Great Fairy Ring, which will allow you to obviously have a greater chance of a pixie spawning when you hit. Also in this update, guys, other than what I've just mentioned, that is pretty much all of the Alphamancy stuff, along with the Elven knowledge. There isn't any other Elven knowledge currently that I can see throughout this book, but there were some new other bits and bobs added into this particular build, 1.1 build 58. I've still got some more to show you, and it may go into a 3rd part because it's getting onto half an hour episode now. So they've added also a Daffa Mill. Now, this is in the functional flora, it's right there, Daffa Mill. The Daffa Mill works as a fan of sorts. It pushes at the cost of a small amount of mana any items found in front of it. Shift-clicking it with the Wand of the Forest changes the orientation. Where it's currently facing can be seen via a subtle wind particle effects that it emits. So you can get this in the Petal Apothecary with a Rune of Air, a redstone root, so it can be controlled by redstone, mystical white petal, white mana petal, mystical brown petal, a yellow mana petal, and that's pretty much it. And that will get you the Daffa Mill. Let's go and take a quick look at this. This little thing is called the Daffa Mill, and as you can see, it's just floating out some wind particles over there. You can shift and right click with the Wand of the Forest and it orientates it. Now it's actually gone over there. I was expecting it to go this way. Thank you very much. And basically it does exactly what it says on the tin. If I throw a bit of dirt out there, it will go ahead and push items like a conveyor belt. Actually, that's pushing it pretty goddamn far. Wow, that's actually quite a lot of push there, I've got to say, on that piece of dirt. So that's the Daffa Mill. Also added in this build was the Rod of the Seas. Works pretty much like a Rod of the Lands, however it places a water block wherever you use that particular rod on. It does require some mana, so please remember that, and also it can be used to refill the Petal Apothecary, and can be done as follows: a Rune of Water, a Living Wood Twig, and a water bottle. And that will of course spawn some water blocks. Let's have a quick look at this then, guys. Rod of the Seas. Let's take this bit out. And there you go. Simple as that, really. Now, the last couple of things in this episode are going to be about just aesthetics and things that Vazki has changed in build release 1.1 build number 58. We will be doing the other bits and bobs in a next episode, which is probably going to be shorter than this one, but this one's banging on a bit now, so I would like to get this done hopefully within 30-35 minutes like the last one was. So the next episode is going to get some new stuff in. Make sure you go out and check that one out. So to finish this episode off, also been brought to the Lexica Botania has been touchscreen support. So if you've got something that's got touchscreen or anything like that, you can get the Lexica Botania. You can open it like that and you can just touch your screen and like swipe it across, much like what you do with your iPad or your iPhone or any tablet or anything like that you've got, and that has got touchscreen support. Now the biggest thing that's been added in, and thank God for this, into the Lexica Botania is bookmarks. These things, you can actually add a bookmark. So if you use, for example, what should we have a look at? I want to have a look at the Daffa Mill, and I want to keep that bookmark. So there you can see Daffa Mill, 1 of 2. And I also want a Hycetus. And I also want to have a look at the Polydisiac, and so on and so forth. The Tiger's Eye, and I think you can get up to like 8 of them. I think up to 8 on the right hand side there, and basically you can just switch between them. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? That's great. I absolutely love that feature. Thank you very much for that, Vazki. So that is going to be it for this episode, guys. If you've enjoyed it, if it's been informative for you at all, then please go ahead and stick a like on the video. It would be amazing if you could. I've still got a little bit more to show you guys, but that's going to come up in the next episode. This has been this has been the Alphamancy update for Botania, and we're right up to release 1.1 build 58. We've still got a few things to show you, and that is going to be in the next episode. Until then, guys, I've been the Toff Man. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.